So now it's time to catch you guys up what happened this last week with the California fires, especially here in West Los Angeles, the Pacific Palisades, Altadena, Pasadena, Eden Canyon. It's been crazy, and I want to just catch you guys up. So I've, took a pause from making those videos, make sure everyone was safe. I was able to evacuate and able to get out of the triangle of fire. But I want to catch you up before that. So the day before, heading out to Lancaster and Palmdale, I was driving around. So quick story. I remember I told you guys that I had switched the boxes with Santa Monica and Culver City. So that next morning, as I went in to get the boxes, I had to wait on the staff that had the keys to the office to be able to let me in so we could switch the boxes. So I got there at probably like 8:05, like first thing in the morning. And as I was there, no one had the keys to the office. So I was just waiting. Half an hour went by. I was actually like playing chess on my phone. In the meantime, I was being patient, checked my emails, did everything. I was there for an hour and 45 minutes. And at that point, I was like, okay, I think it's time for me to leave and come back. As I'm getting up, talking to the receptionist, she was so nice, by the way. Name was Roxy. Super nice lady. But as I'm getting ready to leave, like, hey, I'm just going to come back. It's only 15 minutes from the house. I just have, circle back, another time to switch out those boxes, which I didn't really want it to do because I wanted to make sure the first time he opened the box, it was his box, and they would hear their school name addressed on the box. So as I'm getting ready to leave, the superintendent, his truck drives up, and Roxy's like, oh, that's him. Let's go ahead and just wait. I'm like, perfect. Because for some reason, his staff was working from home today, and no one was there, which happens. It happens. So as he comes in, he's on the phone with his boss, and he's kind of like, trying to finish the conversation before he gets to the elevator. Roxy stops him, like, hey, we have to switch out these boxes, So that as he's walking by on the phone, I say, hey, my name is Chandler Thomas. I'm the one delivering the box from ICU Technologies. We focus on campus security and safety. And I gave him my little pitch, but he was on the phone, so I didn't want to talk to him too much. So then he goes to the elevator, finishes his phone call. Right before he gets on the elevator, he's like, hey, well, what is this? What's going on? So I walked over, talked to him even more, broke it down, shook hands. He's like, oh, okay, great. It's something you're looking into. So we go from there. And then moving forward, I finally, his reception, or the receptionist from the front comes down and switches out the boxes. And I end up having to head to Pomona. So granted, Pomona is about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour from Santa Monica, right? And as I'm there, I had to drop all the way out. It's about, at this time, I left at 9:45, about 10 o'clock, I get to the Pomona School District, which was perfect. I'm able to go in, I drop off, but I'm seeing these crazy winds. Like, the winds are going crazy. I'm seeing trees, flailing in the air. I'm seeing branches broken down. I'm seeing leaves everywhere. I'm like, this wind is really picking up. So I go to Pomona, drop off the box, and I head over to Monrovia, Arcadia, and then Pasadena, right? And all these areas, it's like super windy. It's super crazy. I'm like, man, this wind is really picking up. So, but I didn't think anything of it. I get to Pasadena, and I'm like, oh, well, actually, when I'm at Altadena, I actually get to Altadena before, so I hit Monrovia, got to drop off the package there. Altadena was right before lunch. So right before lunch, I missed the office, so they were happening to leave early. So I missed the office, so I didn't get a chance to give it to them. So I was like, let me go get some food. I had some really, really good Chinese food and some dim sum, which was awesome. Shrimp dumplings with orange chicken. And I also had a chance to try their special almond tea wet dessert. So it's like a it's a hot tea of almond hot tea. Then they put a like a pastry on top and they bake it. And everyone was getting it, so I wanted to try it myself. I burnt my tongue a little bit from the tea and from the they gave me hot tea as well, and then from the almond tea. So next time I'll order the almond tea first so it can cool down a little bit, and then and get that. And I go and drop it off, and I had a chance to meet with the staff at Pasadena. I head to Pasadena, and right before Pasadena, I'm talking about the wind is blowing, like it's going crazy. And then as I'm going to Pasadena, I stop off and I actually get my car washed there too, because they have with the spot free car wash. And there's a few locations all over the city. It's like one of the only ones here in LA that do monthly memberships. My car wash, as you can see. So I get to Pasadena and I actually pull in, I go the back way. So I go the back way, not knowing what was the front door. And a lady helps me to the superintendent's office. And as I'm going to the superintendent's office, I kind of I didn't know this until after I bypassed all of the entryways and essentially gatekeepers. With the staff, I had a chance to go right to the office, and I met with the executive assistant there, and she was able to deliver. I delivered the package, got everything to her. Everything was perfect. So my next stop was Burbank. So going to Burbank, I actually had an opportunity to. They had a really small parking lot, and the wind was blowing really hard. I was like, man, I couldn't even stand up. The wind was blowing really, really hard, and I just parked in handicap. So sorry, I know I was only gonna be there 5 minutes, so I was gonna park and get out. There was no other parking anywhere else. So I parked in handicap. It took me like 5 or 10 minutes to find a spot. I get to the front, and I let the receptionist know I have a gift for the superintendent, and I missed the elevator by like 10 seconds. Watch how God works. This is how God works. So I come back. I'm waiting in the elevator. The superintendent walks right up to get in from the outside and to get on the elevator. Look at God. So in the process of one day, I hand delivered 2 boxes to the superintendent. I'm like, let's go. After Burbank, I drive down to downtown LA to try to drop off the box for LAUSD. But as I'm looking around, the weather's getting crazy, and I didn't have the right information, so I was like, let me just come back. And I also had a hot yoga class that night too, which I was trying to hot yoga, which was fun. And no longer had to, I was like, it's gonna get late, about 4 o'clock. Let me just wait until tomorrow to do it. So going into Wednesday, this is Wednesday this week, that's when everything crazy happened. So as I got home after a hot yoga, back to my house, the power was completely out. Like there was no power. I'm like, oh dang, this is gonna make things interesting. So I was like, okay, it was already pretty late. It was around 9 something. So I was like, let me just go to sleep. In the morning, all the power's gonna be, I was assuming all the power's gonna be back, and it wasn't gonna be no big issue. So as I got back, woke up the next morning, power was still out, and that's when everything crazy just started hitting. Like everyone's like, fires, the Palisades is even worse than it was last night. It went from like 5,000 to 10,000 acres, and it's nonstop. They were thinking they were gonna stop it the first night, but they couldn't. So it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I was like, man, okay, so no problem. Let me go and just start packing things just in case I gotta leave. Because that day I was planning on going back to Compton and Long Beach and LAUSD. That was gonna be my chill day, just because I was doing a lot of driving before. But around like 9, so I got a call from my chief experience officer around 6, 7 that morning. So I called him back, and he was letting me know what's going on, that, you know, to be prepared for whatever. So at that point I was like, okay, I need to start kind of preparing myself for what's really going on, so what could really happen. And I was like, bet. So then what I did, I was like, okay, let me just pack up all my bags, pack up all my valuables, and if I have to leave or go somewhere, it's already in my car. So I packed everything up, and I was like, I might as well head to Lancaster, Palmdale and Antelope Valley today and just get out of the city for a little bit, right? I'm going a little day early. I was planning on going on Thursday, but let's get out there earlier. So got out there a day earlier and got some lunch at this really like small like diner, mom and pop spot that was really good. I got like their chicken, like a chicken fajita omelet with their homemade cornbread, fruit, and it was all good. It was a good meal. I was hungry because I didn't eat any breakfast because I couldn't cook anything. I had a granola bar, but that was it. So as I was in Lancaster, I hit up Palmdale first, and Palmdale hit Palmdale first, and their administration system was a little questioning about why I was dropping off a package. What was this for? A little too much. She had a little attitude with me though, because I was like, hey, like we spoke over the phone. I invited you out to, this event we had, before the summer break, for the winter break. Blase, but she had a little attitude, so I just kept it moving. And then we went to Antelope Valley and then Lancaster, and everything was great. Everyone was there, was nice. Lancaster had a really, really nice brand new facility where their school district was. And later went to Costco in Lancaster, or Palmdale. I think it was Lancaster. I don't know which one. One of those cities. It was in Lancaster. It was like 2 minutes from my hotel. And their Costco had a car wash, which was like kind of interesting. I took my personal car, so I got my car wash there. I thought that was crazy. I've never seen a car wash at a Costco. I was like, what? So when I was in Lancaster, I had went to a really, really nice Asian spot, and they had like sushi, and they had a lot of Asian dishes, and I ended up getting their pho, and it was really good. So I got their pho, egg rolls, and it was like a dragon roll I got. It was really good. And I ate there for a night. I was stuffed. So I went back to the hotel. Now I'm about to leave my room, but I forgot to make a video, so I want to show you. Excuse a little bit of the mess. I already slept in bed and stuff like that, but I'm about to show you where I stayed at. I'm here right now in Lancaster, which is about an hour and a half north of Los Angeles. I've been going north. I have 1 more hour and a half north to go to Bakersfield. So while all these crazy Los Angeles fires are going on, I decided to jump on out and head up north, work, but also get away from those fires, be a little bit more safety. So check out the room, and also show you some of the amenities here at the Marriott. So nice room. See, my bag's already packed, ready to go, but the bed is messy. I already slept it, but it was super comfortable bed. I'm on the first floor, so they're doing construction here at this location. So it kind of got a little noisy this morning, but a little messy, but shower, all that good stuff. So it's been good stay. This morning I woke up I woke up early for continental breakfast, because most of these Marriotts, they always have good breakfast. So I'm always gonna get that, and then I'm gonna go back to my room and work on my computer. And I eventually left to head north to Bakersfield, which is another hour and a half drive, 2 hour drive north from where I was at, and got there. And it was nice. The hotel was nice. I was able to, the story with Kern, which was really interesting too. So when I got to Kern, I had got there right before lunch. I got there around like 11:30, 11:45. And the lady at the front, I was like, hey, like typically a receptionist, I typically don't give the boxes to a receptionist. I like to give it to someone in the executive's office. So I'm assuming the lady I gave the box to was the executive assistant, administrative assistant to the superintendent, not the executive assistant. So she was like, yeah, I actually am assistant for the superintendent's office. I'm just holding down the front desk while the receptionist was on lunch. I was like, okay. So she kind of took the box and signed for it, which I don't like that. I was like, I wanted to have the executive assistant sign it. So I was like, I'm gonna come back. So I went to Starbucks for like an hour 15, worked on my computer, got some things done. I was like, I'm gonna come back because I want to speak with the executive assistant. I drove. It was only my only account of the day too. And it was like the furthest account away in that region. So I was like, I'm gonna make sure I speak to someone, and I want to speak to her specifically. if not the superintendent. That'd been awesome. But spoke to her. So when I got back, I drove back to Starbucks. I called. I was in the parking lot like, hey, I'm in town. Want to, introduce myself and, talk to you and all that good stuff. So because I'm only gonna be in town for the day. Drove over from LA. Can I have 5 minutes of your time? She was super nice. It's like I was the one who dropped off the box. She received the box. I went in there and talked to her. As I'm waiting to meet with the executive assistant, the superintendent walks in. And I have a picture of him on my clipboard. So I'm like, oh yeah. So I say hello, but he was just like walking through, and I didn't stop him. And he saw me talking to the executive assistant about the box. So that was crazy as well. So then I left there, had to do a lot of personal things that day because the fires were going on. I had people calling me. So it's pretty wild. So the update, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later too, but we have the Palisades fire, which on the west of me. I have the Eaton fires in Pasadena and Pasadena east of me, and I have fires north. And they also have fires in Hollywood as well. So all that was like right here, the triangle fire, then I'm like right below it. So update, my house, nothing was touched. We just got a lot of smoke and, dust particles and fire particles all in the air right now. The air quality is horrible. So I have a humidifier at the house, and I have a air purifier at the house as well, trying to clear out the air. And we'll talk a little bit more of that later, but that night when I was in Bakersfield, the city was quiet, super quiet. And Gilda, the manager at the Fairfield Marriott that I stayed at, she was like, because ISIS is out, and that's the immigration department. They were in the city, and when I'm telling you, the town was quiet. Yo, so we just finished doing some work for the day. Had to send out some emails, get all that stuff done, knocked out at the hotel. So now I'm about to go grab me some food. As you can see the lights in the background, kind of glary, but about to get some food. And let's go see what we're gonna eat in Bakersfield, checking out the city of Bakersfield and what it has to offer. So we got suggested and recommended to go to this spot called something La Julia, something La Julia, something. I'm gonna let you know when I get there, and we're gonna tap in. I went to one of the most popular restaurants there. It was La Amores de Julia. It was a Mexican restaurant, obviously, and it was three or four groups in there the whole entire time. When I got there, it was one group in there. Like, it was no one in there. Everyone was hiding out, which is unfortunate. I would have loved to see more of the people of Bakersfield, but I'll be back, so I'll be next time. And then I was recommended to go there. I ended up getting the queso fundido, and they gave me tortillas with that for my appetizer. I got some chicken enchiladas with green salsa, rice, and pinto beans, or I think with refried beans. And then I got some churros with like 3 different sauces, which was good. Overall, great meal. Really enjoyed it. And went to sleep that night, rested up, got breakfast in the morning, and drove down to Oxnard. And Oxnard was about a 2-hour drive from Bakersfield. Called their office, let her know I was coming. She ended up calling me back, the executive assistant, and let me know that the team was in meetings, but she would be open to receiving the package and talking to me for a few minutes. Perfect. Got there, waited for, they delivered the box. I was great. I had to head back to LA at this point. So now it's around 1 o'clock. I'm heading back to LA. It gets back to LA around like 2, 3 o'clock. And I'm seeing some of the smoke. I'm seeing everything, but everything looks normal, but I just see smoke in some areas. Obviously the Palisades the fire is not contained, but everything south of the 10 where I'm living is, and away from Brentwood, away from the Palisades, it's okay. So we're sitting there, I get back to the house, I start unpacking some of my stuff. I was telling myself, don't pack all your stuff yet. Keep some of your stuff in the suitcase in case you needed to just throw everything back in the truck and go. So I did that and kept everything in the car, and now it's been cool for the last day or two. So gonna unpack the rest of my stuff when I get back to the house. So that was the first part. And next we're gonna talk a little bit more about these fires in LA and what's been going on, and you know, essentially what I think about it. I want to hear your thoughts of what y'all think about it as well with these fires. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on my next video. That's gonna be a separate video. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Anything y'all want me to talk about on my sales journey, selling. Literally, my goal of this YouTube page is to show you my process of how I'm planning to sell my way into becoming an influencer, and my day-to-day of what I'm doing every single day to get there. And you'll be along with me on that journey. We're gonna be shooting a lot of videos here. I'm gonna have some more stuff, improving these videos as we go. And I'm excited for this journey. So look for you guys to being a part of it. Thanks for you guys listening, and keep supporting, you know, this ride. Everything matters to me, from a subscribe to a like to a comment, all that. So look forward to hearing more of this story coming up soon. Stay tuned. Make sure you hit that follow button now, and I'll see you guys on the next video.